There we go. All right, that started, but I'll have to cut that part out.
Do what you want to do.
We're basically, I'm gonna go through the
Some of those questions.
exact same thing we did
I'll roll
before.
with it. I'll roll with it.
Okay, and so I'm gonna make it a lot, I'm gonna ask all the questions.
Huh?
So, which one I'm not sure which
Anything
one.
you want to do.
All right.
You're the director and producer.
I'll take out number one about tell us a little about yourself, because we can get the kind of information that you want off of your website for that.
You can do that, yep.
Okay. So then honor, integrity, responsibility, I want to put that in there.
You want me to talk to that or not?
Yeah.
Ask me for it, okay.
All right. Let me go ahead and get this set up here. All right.
We look like we know what we're doing.
We do.
At least I look like I know what because I ain't got to do nothing, just sit here.
All right, let's see, how did I have this? I can't even figure out my own phone now. There we go.
Have you got the speaker on here? Microphone?
Yeah, it's already running on it.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and get this with you, and all right, we're on, okay? All right. We're here with Greg Clary, my friend and businessman in Jacksonville, Florida. Greg is the president and founder of Clary and Associates. I've known Greg for over 16 years and have had the pleasure of serving the Lord with him during that time. Greg has a reputation as an ethical and trustworthy man who delivers on the promises that he gives. He's affiliated with many businesses in Jacksonville and Clay County and is very active in philanthropic work in the area. His website has testimonies of actual customers who rave about the services he provides. Greg started out as a surveyor with one telephone and one crew and has blossomed into a well-rounded business offering varying services which include mapping and surveying in residential and commercial development, transportation, subsurface engineering, and technology. How are you today, Greg?
I'm doing great, Byron.
Thank you for allowing us to have this interview today. To start off, I want to ask you a question. I looked at your website and I saw your motto there. Honor, integrity, and responsibility are the foundation of Clary and Associates. Tell us what that means to you.
Well, as a Christian man and Christian businessman, it means to me that I need to conduct myself in a manner that will be worthy of the name of Christ. And honor and integrity and responsibility all play into that character. So I strive every day in my business. My business is surrounded around the idea of carrying myself forward with honor and doing what we say we will do and have the responsibility to do what we have committed to do, get it done. Sometimes that means extra work, whatever it takes to be responsible for that effort. And sometimes we have to work late, sometimes we have to come in early, but we're committed as a responsible team to do that. That's what I try to inspire in my business, and the Lord's directed that very clearly in my life.
Very good, very good. What's the most rewarding aspect of your work?
Well, there's several. I mean, I will say that one of the rewarding aspects is to see a young person come through my field of work and grow and prosper and able to move up in their skill sets of leadership and turn into a true professional. That's a very rewarding thing to watch and have a little small hand in that by training them and teaching them, etc. The other part of it is that know that the work we do is very important to our community. It is the foundation of our country as to private ownership, and because of that, we have a responsibility to ensure that that's not done in a chaotic fashion and that people can rely upon what we do for their ownership issues, which are a big deal. Many times someone may buy a home that you may thought, some people may not recognize it, but that may be the biggest investment they ever make in their life. So the boundaries of that property they own is a big deal, and it's important to our country. Private ownership is important to our democracy, and so we're part of that formula for a successful country and communities around us. So we're very proud to be part of that complex, you might say, industry of putting it together. Yes, sir.
There's a lot more that goes into it than people think. Just seeing a surveyor out there with a instrument measuring and shooting a line, there's a whole lot more to it than that.
Yes, sir, that's part of it. That's a very big part of it. It's in the field collecting data and just laying out things. But of course, at the end of the day, it's all about where is the final location and where is it at, and doing it correctly. So either a home can be built within that boundary, people can put fences up for their boundary, they can improve their property properly. Or on the other hand, a highway can be built in the correct place and not having impingements on or encroachments into private ownership right or left of it. And also it can be built correctly vertically. So we have an integral part in it, and we're one of those hidden professions that I'm proud to be part of that's very old. Been around since the book of Leviticus. I can't remember exactly the verse and page, but basically it says, "Cursed be the man that moved out of his neighbor landmark." We are the oldest legal profession based upon that verse right there as far as historical records go. So before all the engineering and all the lawyers and everything else, we were there. Surveyors were surveying. So we're proud of that heritage.
Good. Since you've been so successful with your business and starting from nothing and getting to the point that you've arrived at, what kind of advice would you give to our college-age students who are entering the business world?
First of all, I'd advise them to try to learn as early as possible what you want to do with your life. They say there's an old saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I have to tell you, that's probably been the root of my life and my calling at work, because I've enjoyed it all. I continue to learn. And as you learn and grow in whatever field it is, you will be successful. The Lord will bless it if you commit yourself in a godly way and not just a selfish way. And it's not always about making money. It may be a field of service that is totally alien to what I do, but it may be nursing, it may be medical field, it may be teaching. And it's not always about the money. It's about being in a field of work that returns for you that sense of you made a contribution to the work, to the community, to the people. And then from there, if the Lord wants to bless you in a business, and if you got that bug in there, then maybe that's what He wants to do with you. Because as a business, once you start a business and once you survive starting a business, which is a big deal, if you survive that and you work at it, you have opportunities that are expounded, just exponentially. Because now all of a sudden you can actually help people in ways you couldn't have done before. So it's really a great blessing to be able to start and be able to own a business and to run a business that is successful, not by just me, but the people I've had the privilege of hiring over the years and have them blossom the business and grow the business, and my clients. And without the clients, you wouldn't have a business. So I would say to them, take your time, don't get in a hurry, find out what you really want to do, and then be really, really good at what you want to do, and go for it.
Amen. That's good. I see from your website that you're very involved with charity work and philanthropic work in our area. How did you get involved with that charity work?
Well, I've always given to the Lord my tithes and for my family. I've always been part of the church. I still am very much part of the church. But then as a businessman, I began to look around me and realize that there's a great need and a lot of activities going on in the community that I had not seen and that I'm now interacting with and touching. And over time, that began to get more and more visible to me. And so the business, we were able to engage in nonprofits, charities, and actually spend time in there. Maybe volunteer. Some people in my firm would volunteer to get active with that community or that particular charity. And so doing so, I also began to realize that I can't be an island. I need to be part of the community that's given me so much. So, and also I need to be able to live a Christian life by giving back. That's what a Christian life's about. I've had the privilege of being able to be gifted by my work. I need to give some of that back to the community as well as to my church. So that's kind of how we ended up doing that. It's just in my opinion, it's part of being a good Christian business person to give back.
So having done all that and been involved in various charitable organizations and giving back, what would you say is the greatest reward that you've received from that work?
The results of it. To watch some of these charitable organizations that are focused on children and see the blessings they give to these children, help these children. the homeless ministries, the ministries for the special needs, even the adult special needs. It has been the forgotten special needs. We support one, it's an adult place for special need adults to go every day and have dignity in a job. And that's a real blessing to see that happen, the dignity of the work that they could not get otherwise. I mean, so as you look at each one, they've all got their characteristics, and you realize that there's a great needs in the community. You can't meet them all, but you can see if the Lord leads you to one, you can put your shoulder to the wheel and help them along too, because they need help. There are nonprofits, and they depend on people like myself and other people to get involved or to give. And so I, get a great blessing out of seeing my employees get engaged with that, and their lives change, and their hearts are touched, and all of a sudden they want to do more of it. And so that's kind of the blessing we get back tenfold.
So if I hear you correctly, and not only are you blessing the other people, but those other people are blessing you as you get involved with the work and seeing it going forward.
And my little work family that works, my employees, whoever it might be, wanting to get involved in that thing, they bring all that back into the workplace with them, and they're different people. Their outlook is different. Their smiles on their face, because they realize giving is a character changer. Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, thank you, Greg. I appreciate your time for setting aside the time to talk with us and share your life a little bit with us. Thank you very much.
Well, Byron, it's a pleasure to be interviewed by you, and if you shut that off now, I'm going to kick you. Byron is a great godly man. He needs a name for this report, by the way.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, man.
All
All right, let me do one thing here now. All right. So, let's see, did it take this time? I've got to make sure. I went to upload it.
We're on, okay? All right. We're here with Greg Clary, my friend and businessman in Jacksonville.
Excellent. We got it.
Good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. What can I do to help you here?
I gotta
Take this
turn that
off.
one
You have to turn it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, here we go.
Right.